What's up YouTube, JP here, and in this video we're going to be looking at the Mandalorian inspired lightsaber by N Saber. So before we get into it, I just need to let you guys know that N Saber sent this lightsaber free of charge for review, and I'm not obligated to say anything at all. So before we do the unboxing, who is N Saber? Well, N Saber have been making lightsabers for quite some time now, and they have sabers for everyone's taste and budget. So when it comes to lightsabers, there's usually one of two different types that you can get, and the first one is the ones that they use for dueling. Now these are base lit, they don't look as good, but you can use them for dueling because inside the actual tube itself, or the blade, there's nothing that's going to break inside there. Now the one that I've got in this video is the NeoPixel one, so there's actually LEDs all the way up that blade, and unfortunately this is the type that you can't actually duel with because you're going to break it quite easily. So that being said, let's dive in and get into this unboxing. So here we have the box for the N Saber, and it's pretty plain, black with white lettering on it, and then on the back we have an actual outline of a lightsaber itself, so that's pretty cool. So let's open the box and see what's inside. Now as you can see, there's quite a few things in here, so we'll go through them one at a time. First of all, we have the display stand, and I'll actually put that together a little bit later on. And then in this bag we have some spare grub screws and an Allen key. Next we have a badge, and this is made of metal, looks really cool with the N Saber lettering on it. And then here is the actual plug that goes in the handle when you're not using it. So if you want to put it in the stand, then you'd put this in and take the main blade off. This looks really cool, and it's just a nice touch for when you're not using it. Then we have some white gloves. Now I have quite large hands, so these weren't ideal for me, they were really stretched out, but I thought it comes with them, may as well put them on anyway. So next we have the handle itself, and this has got all the electronics in it. Now the first thing I noticed was just how heavy this is. The craftsmanship is amazing and the build quality is awesome as well. It's just really nice in the hand. Here we can see we've got the grub screws. Now they don't come pre-installed, you'll have to do that yourself, but just to save time I'll pre-put them in there. Now of course if we put that plug in, this is what it will look like on the stand. Just gives it that little bit extra when it's on display. So the next thing is the actual blade itself. Now this is the NeoPixel version, so there's LEDs all the way up this blade. If we take the cap off the end, you can actually see the connection points. So these copper rings here will make a connection to the end of the handle, which will basically light them up. So you just slot it in, and then you're going to need that Allen key to tighten up those 3 grub screws. Now don't over tighten this, because it's plastic, you will crack it if it's too tight. You want it tight in there, but not tight enough to damage the plastic. So here's the stand, and you don't really need instructions for this. There's 3 bits of perspex, they just slot together, you peel off the backing on the badge and stick it down. So let's take a look, see what it looks like. As you can see, it looks really cool being transparent, and it's good that you've got somewhere to put the lightsaber to have it on display. Now one of the things that really blew me away was how many settings and what you can customize on the lightsaber itself. Now I was under the impression it just lights up and you can swing it around and it makes a bit of the noise that they actually make in the films. Boy was I wrong. There's so many different ignition and sound effects, colors. It's really remarkable on how much stuff you can do. And the lightsabers actually have a micro SD card, so you can put it in the PC and add more things to it and customize it yourself. Now I'm not going to go through any of that in this video, but what I will show you is just some of the ignitions and sound effects and features, etc. Now I can't go through everything because there's absolutely loads of stuff you can do with this, but here's a quick look at some of the ones that really stood out to me. So while we have a quick look at the functionality, I've actually just put the stopper in because the blade makes it quite heavy and awkward and I'm restricted with space. So everything's controlled by this single button. So if we hold the button down for a few seconds, you can see that it says power on. Now if we hold this button for one flash, it adjusts the volume.
Low volume.
So that's low volume.
Mute on.
So that would be no volume at all. And when you turn the device on, you can see that you get no volume whatsoever and the device is actually functioning. So to turn the device off, you can actually just flick it like so, and as you're holding the device, it'll basically look like that, turning it on and off. Or you can push and hold the button until it turns off. So we'll go back to the volume.
High volume.
So that's high volume, but what I'm going to do,
Low volume.
I'm going to set it to low volume while we're doing this so it doesn't interfere too much with my voice. So next, let's turn the device back on, and there you can hear it there. And you can hear when you're moving it around, and then you can turn it off like so. You also put the button. Now if you push the button while the device is on, it's like when you get shot with a laser gun and you can deflect those shots. What else have we got here? If you push the button twice, you can see that it's actually now cycling through colours. And what you can basically do is you wait till the colour that you like. So if you like green, push the green button, 2 flashes again. You can go for something like a blue. As I said, you can hold it down and it will turn the device off. You've also got different ignitions. Now, I did go through some of my favourites, but to change the ignition, it's
Ignition
2 flashes. So that's ignition 2, 1, 2.
Ignition 3.
That's ignition 3.
Ignition 4.
Ignition 4, etc. So if we actually do a 4 flash, it'll sort of change the sort of sound effect sound, and it'll change the whole sort of sound effects and everything that's on here. Now there is a lot more sound effects and different voices you can have on here, but that was just a quick look to see how you use the device. And then again, if we hold it, keep holding it and it keeps flashing, it'll power off. So I guess another thing to mention is how do you charge the device. Now you can actually unscrew the base itself, and you might be able to see the little speaker in there, but this is not actually the part that you need to unscrew to charge it. So if we hold it further up here and twist, there we go. So now we can see the actual controller itself. You can see that it has got a micro SD card in there that you can take out, 32 gigs, probably a bit much for what we're using here. So if we turn it around to the back, you can see it's got a USB-C charging port, and then I think that's an 18650 battery, one of those ones like you use on vapes. Yes, you can change the battery, so if it does die eventually and it's not charging anymore, no problem, you can pop a new one in there. And again, you can see that little speaker. So that's kind of how you would charge the device. You take this section off here, plug it in, it'll indicate when it's charging and it'll go off when it's fully charged, and then you can just slide this back on once it's fully charged. And as I said, the machining on this is really nice. The quality, it's got a good weight to it. It's definitely a premium product, and I wouldn't really say it's a toy, especially because it's the NeoPixel one. You can't sort of go wielding and dueling with this because you will damage the LEDs in the blade. But that was just a quick look at some of the functions and how to charge it. So as you know, Christmas is just around the corner, and this would be an amazing Christmas present for someone that's a massive Star Wars fan. Also, N Saber was kind enough to give my viewers a 7% discount. So if you want to order your lightsaber today, don't forget to use the affiliate code in the description of this video so you can save 7% on anything on their website. One thing I will say, this is not really a toy, it's a collector's item, and if you were to go to cosplay or fancy dress and you were to go as a Jedi or something like that, then this is the perfect thing to take along with you. Now, because this one is the NeoPixel, you can't duel with it and it's easy to break if you start whacking things with it. So I'm gonna end the video here. I just want to give a massive shout out to N Saber for sending this product free of charge for review. I'm really impressed with it, so thank you very much. I'm JP, you've been watching Alien Retro Gaming, and I'll catch you in the next one.